All right, welcome back. Today we are going to descend into a cave. I am looking at a cave Akari hybrid puzzle. This one is by Mark Sweep, and it looks pretty interesting. I'm a fan of cave puzzles. I'm a fan of Akari puzzles. I have actually created a cave Akari hybrid before, although it was slightly different than this one. It was part of a puzzle hunt. And so I just had to try this out. So this is Cave Akari by Mark Sweep. Now, if you're familiar with Cave and Akari, then you should be okay rules wise. The main thing to know is that each number is either a cave clue or an Akari clue. So, um, cave rules are that you're creating a single connected group. Something like this could be the cave, and then let's go, great, and then you'd have walls all the way around, right? But it has to be the whole grid, obviously. Um, and the numbers in the cave tell you how many cells that cell sees. So, for example, this 3 right here could see that, and then you could have these around here, um, something like that. But you can't have two separate connected groups. So, for example, you couldn't do that and then have another section over here. These have to be connected. The cave has to be all one connected group, and you can't have walls stuck in the middle either. You can't have the cave, somewhere around here and have some walls in the middle. All of the walls have to connect to the edge because otherwise you would have two separate groups. This one would be stuck inside. So, basic cave stuff. Now, when you're making your cave, when you're drawing your cave, some of these cells are cave cells. Like this 3 might be a cave cell, right? And maybe it's something like this. But then this 1 would be part of the wall, and it would be an Akari clue, which would then indicate how many light bulbs have to be adjacent to it. So, if you're familiar with cave and Akari, just know every clue is either a cave cell clue or an Akari clue. Hopefully that makes sense. So cave, we've gone through the cave rules, Akari rules. So once we've drawn our cave, we're going to have some sort of wall, the cave inside, like this, and all the numbers in the walls are now Akari clues. Now the way Akari works is you're trying to light up the whole grid with light bulbs, and the numbers tell you how many light bulbs are adjacent to it. So this 2, for example, if this was our wall, would have to have 2 light bulbs connected to it, like this. And a light bulb lights up all of the cells in the orthogonal directions, all 4 orthogonal directions, until it hits a wall. So right here it would light up these. This one would light up, all the way across, unless there was a wall there. If there was a wall, right here, then it would stop lighting when it hit the wall. And 2 light bulbs cannot see each other, so we could not put another light bulb right there, for example. But we could put another light bulb right here, because the light bulbs wouldn't see each other. And that is all the rules. Let's see, we gotta clear this all out. Maybe. There we go. I am gonna give it a try now. There is actually, before we give it a try, I wanted to say there is an example here. Let's look at the example quick. All right, so you've got, you can see the 3, the 11, and the 5 that are in white, and the 3 at the top that's orange. Those are all part of the cave, and so they've got, they see the correct number of cells, and then the gray cells are the walls, and so the numbers in the gray are the Akari clues, and you'll notice each one has the correct number of lights next to it. So the 1 has 1 orange next to it. The 2 at the bottom has a 2 above and to the right. So that's kind of an example of a finished grid. This puzzle does have 5 stars rating for difficulty, but it's also got 100% for quality. So should be a really good but tough puzzle. And we'll see how it goes when I try it. So link in the description as usual. Give it a try. And I'll leave a link to the intro puzzle he has as well. There's a 10 by 10 teaser puzzle. I'll leave a link to that one too if you want to start with that. So I'm going to give it a try now, and we'll see how it goes. Start my timer. There we go. Okay, so so one thing I think we can do right away is if you think about Akari, what's the biggest number you can have in an Akari clue? Well, you could theoretically have a 4, right? If you had right here, this one. You could have a 4 if you had lights all the way around it. Normally that's possible in an Akari puzzle. But knowing that this has to be part of the cave wall, it can't be surrounded by 4 cave cells. So we can't actually do that. So anything above a 3, we know immediately is part of the cave. And I'm going to mark cave as green for now. And then we'll probably have to change it to like orange and yellow when we start lighting up cells. Now a 0, on the other hand, cannot be part of a cave clue because, I mean, so it tells you how many cells it sees, including itself. Well, including itself is already 1. So 0s have to be part of the wall. Now 1s could theoretically be part of a cave, right? Because they see themselves. But then you'd have to surround it with walls, and you're going to have multiple... The cave cells all have to be connected to each other. So these, the 1s, also have to be part of the wall. So we're going to get quite a bit to start with right there. Now what we're left with is the 2s and 3s that we don't know if they're cave or Akari. Unless we have one... I don't see one. I was going to say if we see one where it already connects to too many cells. Like if we knew that was cave, then this 2 right here would not be able to be cave. But right now it could be. You could go there. And yeah, have that around there. Okay. So I think that's all that we can do immediately. Now let's see if there's anything else obvious that we can see. I'm looking for like checkerboard patterns. Checkerboard is, well, for example, right up here, we have these 2 grays. If we find out that's a green, that's part of the cave, we can't then make this part of the cave. We'll have to make that because it's a little complicated to explain, but essentially if you have this pattern here, there's not going to be any possible way to have the greens connect and the grays connect. Because it doesn't matter how the wall goes. It could be real windy the cave part. It doesn't matter how it goes. It could be real windy and around here. But eventually these 2 greens have to connect. They can't connect around this side of the 1. So they're going to have to somehow encircle this gray. It could be all the way down and around, but it's going to have to be a continuous thing. And then there's going to be no way for this gray cell to connect to the edge of the grid. And all walls have to connect to the edge of the grid. So we can't have this pattern ever, the checkerboard pattern. Now right now it's okay because we just have the 2 grays, so we could put why won't it let me do? Hold on, there we go. Gotta be on the right color. So as long as we have a gray in one of those 2, it's gonna be fine. Okay. Okay. Well, this 9 on the corner, it can't connect to the 4. Because that's going to give you way too many cells for the 4. So the farthest it can go is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So you're going to have at least 2 this way. Now this direction, it can't connect to the 2 if the 2 is cave, right? If the 2 is wall, then it could come all the way up to here potentially. Normally, we have to avoid even getting next to the clue. Like the 4 here, we can only go up to there. But because this 2 could be wall, we could actually go that far. But we can get at most 4. So we're going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least that many. Okay. Now, where do we look next? The 16 maybe? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a 15 by 15 grid, I think. 9, 12. Yeah, 15 by 15 grid. Okay, so, but we can't connect to the 2, like we said. So that's going to be 10 maximum in the vertical here. 10, 11, 12. You get 13 total using the left. So 14, 15, 16. Now in the horizontal direction, we can't connect to this 2, so it's going to be even less. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we said it was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're going to have at least that. Can we get any to the left here? 10, 12, 14, 15. Yeah, we're going to have at least one more. So these are kind of the minimums. Basically, I look at, if I want to know if it has to go to the left, I combine the top, the bottom, and the right, maximums we could get, and then figure out what the minimums would be in the other direction. Now, what about this 9? Can we do anything with that? Let's see, we can do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. It could connect all the way down here to the 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could get 7. 2, 3. So in the vertical direction, if we don't connect to the 7 down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the most it can get. If it does connect to the 7, 7 is the most it can get. So the most we can get vertically with the 9 is 7, 8, 9. So it's got to have those. Now this 2 right here clearly cannot be cave because it's going to have 4 just immediately. So this has to be part of the wall. All right, Future Scott here. This puzzle ended up taking me a lot longer than I was expecting, almost 2 hours, and so I'm not going to show the whole thing in real time. I'm going to fast forward through the less interesting bits where I'm just kind of thinking and trying things, and just kind of include the more important parts of logic. So you'll see some fast forwarding, and at one point my computer runs out of space, and so I had to stop the recording and start again. And so anyways, hopefully you guys still enjoy this a little bit different type of solve. All right, now back to past me. Now if this was wall, we'd know immediately where the lights had to be. If it's cave, that's gonna have to be wall, which would force a light up here. I think that's still doable. I could see that working either way. What about the 15? That's a pretty big clue. We said the grid was 15 big, right? So minus 4, because we can't connect to the 3 or the 2. So 11. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 11 is the most we can get vertically. 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have to have at least that. Now, in the other direction, you can get all the way up to 14 cells. So it would have to it's going to have at least 1 in the vertical direction, but it could go on either side. So that's not too helpful yet. 4. We know the 4 can't connect to this green over here. So the most it can get horizontally is 3. So it's going to have that one for sure. The 5 is not going to be helpful. What about the 12? Can we do anything with the 12? 2, 4, 6. All right, let's see. What about the 10? Can we do anything with that? 7. This 10. It doesn't have very much vertically it can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can only do 5, and 2 to the right makes 7. So 8, 9, 10. It's got to have at least that. And it can only do 9 horizontally. 2, 4, 6. Because if it doesn't connect to the 9, it can only have 7. If it does connect to the 9, it can have at most 9. So it's got to have that one. These ones along the edge are pretty limited if they're Akari clues. Here's something that we can do. Look at this one cell. This one clue here on the wall. This we know is an Akari clue. right? So it has to have one light connected to it. But because of this 0 clue, the light can't be there and the light can't be there. So this has to be the light for the 1 clue, which is really helpful because we didn't even know that was a cave cell yet. And that's a cave. So I'm going to make the lights orange. So orange is also green, essentially. It's the lights, but it's part of the cave. So now, can this 2... If it's part of the cave, then we have to do that. And this would have to be part of the cave. But that seems possible. And if it's part of the wall, it's already got one, but we could still put another light over there. So that could go either way at this point, I guess. One of these two has to be gray. But I don't think we know which one. Well, we know this wall has to, escape somewhere at one of these two directions. Okay. This one cannot be green. If we make this 2 green, we've already used our 2, and we'll have to put blacks around it, and we've got our checkerboard. So this has to be part of the wall. I'm wondering if this can be wall. If this is wall, you've got lights. Yeah, okay, right. Because if this is wall, then we're going to have to put lights on all 3 sides here because we need 3 lights. And then they're going to light up, in this direction. And now where are we going to put 2 lights on the 2? We can't. So that one has to be part of the cave. I was just wondering if this can go all the way around here. And it could because the 4 still has plenty of places to connect. So... Okay. So, what do we do now? That doesn't force this to be a wall. The 3 there. Can those be... Yeah, those can be both green, I think. So, the 2 in the corner is either going to stick this way and have those, or this way and have those, but... Right, and so if that's green, it's going to force this one to be green. But if it's wall, this could still be wall. Yeah, okay, that doesn't... At first I was thinking maybe this one was green either way, but it's not necessarily. All right. This is definitely a difficult puzzle. So where is the place to look here? I feel like there's something up here because these grays need to connect somehow out. Either out this way or this way. And this 4, if it connects to either of these, then it's got its 4. Okay, well I know it can't come down here. It's going to have too many. The problem is it could go this direction. So that 4 seems like it has lots of options. Okay. If this 2 is part of the cave, you're going to have to do that for the checkerboard, which is going to put... You're going to have to do something like that. But that all seems potentially fine. No. No, that's fine. I was going to say, if this is part of the wall, are the lights around these 2 is going to break that 1, but it's not necessarily. All right, so where do we need to look? Where do we need to look? Is it the 6 down here? What about the 3? Can this 3 be a wall? It would have to have cave all around it because it would need 3 lights. But I think that's possible. So, where should we be looking now? That all seems fine. Now these fours can't touch each other, can they? Because that would be 5 cells total if the fours were connected. So the 4 can actually only do 3 across here because it can't connect over there. So it's got to have 1 up there. And what does that do for the 6? Anything? We've got another cell here. So if it... But see, it could just end right there, and that could be wall, and that would be fine. So... I'm not sure where to look next. If this is cave, the other cave cell has to be one of these, so that would have to be wall. But man, we got this one light and I was all excited, and then now we're getting nowhere. Ah. Ah. That's not. Never mind. Okay, so what do we need to look at now? I'm not seeing any checkerboard issues other than right up here. I don't think we can resolve that one yet. Okay. Right. So this 4, that's what I should have seen. This 4 needs to connect to the rest of the green somehow. It can't connect over here because it'll get too many. So it has to connect through this outlet. So it's going to have to come up to there, which means this has to be wall because it'd be, if it was cave, it would be too many. Now we still don't know which of these two is green, but only one of them is. But what does that do for us? Ah, we've limited the 12. That's what it does for us. Now that we know that this is wall, no, because it couldn't connect to the 2 anyways. That doesn't limit it at all. Not even a little bit. You can still have 11 or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in this direction. If this is cave, this is wall, and the only way to light that cell is to put a light where the 4 is. But that seems okay. What am I not seeing? There's something that I'm supposed to be seeing, and I'm not seeing it. And up here, if this is wall, it would seem like there would be an issue because you'd have to put 2 lights, and these lights are going to see each other. But not if that's a wall. And then it's also got 2 lights seeing, so those should be fine. Okay, I see it. I see it right there. What I just tried. Okay, if this is cave, this 2, the orange is also part of the cave. So we've already got our 2, so it has to go like this, right? Now, how are you going to do this 2 clue? If it's cave, it's its own little section. But if it's wall, it can't have 2 lights. So this cell has to be wall, or else it breaks the other 2 clue. Okay. Now, could this be cave? I think so. Could Could it be wall? Yeah, we already showed that could be either one. So that didn't do too much for us. We know there's a light in one of these two spots. So what are we going to do next? This 5 still seems like it has a lot of options. That goes that way. You're going to have all of those. And that 3 won't. Okay, there you go. If you have the 4 there, it's going to force all of this, and this 3 won't be able to have 3 lights. Right? If that goes that way. Yeah. Okay, so that's a wall. A little bit of trial and error there, but it worked. Sometimes on a difficult puzzle, you got, especially with Akari, I feel like I do a lot more trial and error with Akari than other types of puzzles. Maybe that's bad, but it's the way it is. Okay, so you could do something like that. That would still work, I think. So if this is wall, you've got to have 3 lights. I think the 2 has to be wall either way. If this is wall, one of these has to be cave, and you can't also make that one cave because then you're gonna have you're gonna block too much of the 3. But if this one is cave, you also can't make this one cave. Because you'd have to have that, and then you're going to create a checkerboard pattern. So this one has to be wall, whether the 3 is cave or wall. Essentially. Not getting anywhere very fast, are we? So this 4 doesn't have a lot of options, right? It can only go one more this direction. But I think... and it can't do that because it would create a checkerboard over here. So the only way for it to not go to the left is for it to... Oh, no, because it could do that. It can't do that. But it could do this. No, because that would trap... No, it wouldn't. This could still escape. Oh, well, it would break this 3, is what it would do. So essentially, the green has to go this way. The 4. And now this 3 can't be wall because you've already lost one side, and the other sides, you know, one of these, because of the checkerboard, you can't make both of these green. So the 3 can't be wall now. And this wall has to get to the edge of the grid, so you're going to have to do that. Okay. And now we know, now we can put some more lights, because this 2 has to have 2 lights, and those are the only options. This 2, no, this 2 has to have 2 lights, and those are the only options. And now let's light up their paths. The 1 is only going to have this option now. The 9 now has all 9 of its cells. So that's got to be wall. Have we limited anything else? Did we limit the 16 at all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, we didn't. Wait, yeah, we did. We've got to use all of them now, right? Because we lost these 2 up here. 1, 2, 3. No, we've lost. No, this is cave. We got to remember this is cave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we do have to use all of those. That's going to make these walls. Okay. Now, we know that this wall section up here has to somehow connect to the edge of the grid. The 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got to go down at least one more. Could still connect to the 7. Is the 15 a little bit more limited now? We lost 3, so we can get 12, 13. Yeah, still good there. Yeah, but I think that's fine. Potentially. It's potentially fine. It may end up not being fine. But I think it's fine for now. Well, we can make this green. Because remember, the orange is part of the cave. So it has to connect to the rest of the cave somehow. So we can do that. Now we've got 3. So the green can't connect over here. But it could go this way. It could go, something like that. This is not an easy puzzle at all. Not that I was expecting it to be, but I feel like I'm just making really slow progress. There's been a lot of interesting deductions so far, though, and the fact that we have to already do Akari is kind of cool. Sometimes you would expect, oh, you're just going to solve the cave and then solve the Akari or something like that, but So one thing we do know is these two are the same color. Is that true? No, that's not true. Because it could be like that. That's not even true. Okay, we don't know that. We don't know much. Uh, uh, 7, 8, 9, 10. These would all have to be green. Okay. Oop. I'm hitting my lantern. Okay. You can't do that. Because... Okay, let's go back. It's simpler than that, actually. This 3 cannot be wall because you're going to have to surround it with cave, and now you have a wall section because it needs to have 3 lights, and now you're going to have a wall section stuck in the middle of the cave. So that cannot be wall. That has to be cave. Now, since this is cave, we can't have a wall section stuck in the middle of the cave. So this has to be cave. And now that finishes the 3, which makes this wall, which is what I was wanting to do, but it was just in a different way than I was planning. So this is, yep, we have to do that to avoid checkerboard. And now we've connected the 9 to the 7, which means what? It can only have 2 here, so this has to be the end. Right? No. That's not true. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 here. We could just have the 6, actually. But we have 6 already. So for the 10, we've got 6 vertically, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's got to go like that. Okay. No, it's not. It has to do at least that, because we can get 7 vertically. 8, 9, 10. I'm losing my mind. I've been doing this puzzle for too long. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, but it does mean, yes, this 9 sees 6 vertically, 7, 8. It already sees 8. So if we go farther this way, it's going to pick up 2 and be 10. So it can't go that way. So it means we have to have 7 vertically. So we can't go horizontally with the 7 at all. We can't go any farther horizontally with the 10 because we're going to have exactly 7 vertically. Now, I don't know which one of these two, top and bottom, is cave. But we know that much. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Oh, and this can't go. So these two wall cells have to get to the edge of the grid. So they could go right here. They could go right there. But the 6 can only get one more at most vertically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got to go at least one more down. Now, okay, let's look at these 2s. Because we know one of these has to be a wall, right? So whichever one that is, if it's up here, it's going to force the 2 lights over here, which is going to force these 2 lights over here. If it's here, it's going to do the opposite thing. But either way, there's going to be a light at the ends, which is pretty easy to see, actually, because the only other, I mean, the 2, if it doesn't have a light at the end, it's got to have it on both sides, which would break the other 2. But we know there's lights at the ends. Now, there's going to be one light over here and one light over here. So whichever one of these is wall, the other one is going to be a light. Right, and if you put a light right here, how are you going to do a light for the 1 clue? You can't. So this one has to be the light, which then means this has to be wall, because these have to connect to the edge of the grid. And we can light up some more cells that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that could be it for that. We don't necessarily have to go farther down for the 6. We don't know yet, because you could get these 2. Oh, and now we know where the other light on this 2 is. It goes right there. We can light up some more cells. Oh, wait. What did I do? This direction and that direction. There we go. Got to make sure we light up the right ones. And now, how are we going to light up? Oh, but there's 2 options, I guess. You can light up the 3 here or here. There's got to be a lantern somewhere in one of those 2. So if we get a light anywhere in this column, then there's going to have to be a lantern where that 3 is. Now this 2, where can we put lights on this 2? We can't put one above it. We can't put one to the left because it'll be shined on by that lantern. So these 2 have to be lanterns. And now, going back to cave rules, this is part of the wall. How is this wall? Well, first of all, this has to be cave because of... oh, we've got our lantern there. So there's a lantern there. But this is wall, and how is it going to connect to the edge of the grid? It's got to come out this way somehow. And now the 6 has to come down one more. It's going to be a lit cell. So the 6 needs one more, either the left or the bottom. Oh, and we can continue. Right, so checkerboard down here. And then, again, the wall needs to get to the edge of the grid somehow. And now we've finished off the 6, so we can put walls in there and there. If this 2 is wall, where are you going to get 2 lights? Because this one's already being seen, so you can't put a light to the right. So that's going to have to be cave, which is then going to force wall down here. And now the only way to light that cell is if it is a light itself. Now, what about down here? The 2, again, the 2, if that's wall, you can't get 2 lights on it, so it's got to be cave. Now, one of those 2 is also going to have to be a lantern, but we don't know. I assume, I'm going to guess we're going to get a lantern somewhere in this row, which will force a lantern to be where that 2 is, or a light bulb lantern, whatever you want to call the lights. Let's see. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've now done our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So we need to put walls at the top and the bottom. Checkerboard gives us a wall there. And now where can we put a lantern on this 1? Because it can't be to the left or the bottom or the top, so it's got to be to the right. And now this 3, if this was wall, actually you could put wall there and no, because you'd yeah, you could do that. I think you could do that. Maybe. Maybe. um okay. Thought we were gonna figure something out there. The 12 is more limited now, right? Because we got these walls down here. So the 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It can only get 8 horizontally now. 9, 10, 11. So it's got to have one more down. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. What about the 9? Can we do anything with the 9? Is the 9 limited? Yeah, 1, 2. So we can only do 4 vertically, right? If it connects to the 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 9 has to connect to the 10, which means what? Doesn't tell us much, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's 7 already. So we can't go to the left because it would get 3, which would make it 10. So we can't go this way. So that has to be black. Checkerboard gives us that one. And now 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can still get at most 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so we've already got 7. If it connects to the 4, it breaks. So we can only go down 1. So 7, 8. We could get both of those. But the 4 can't connect to the 9. That's the key. Right? So 1, 2. What about the 8? Oh, we can do more with the 8 now. 1, 2, 3, 4 potentially. 5, 6, 7, 8. So this does get 1 vertically. 6, 7. So the 8 has 7. It needs to get either 1 to the right or 1 to the bottom. If this is wall, it needs to have lights on all 3 sides. I think that's possible. If it's cave, yeah, that's possible too. Okay. Where do we look next? 7. This one can't. 7. It can't connect down, so we know there's a wall there. 8. So it has to pick up one more there. So that's 8 now. It's either going to get the right or the top. If it gets the top one, then the 10 will have to pick up one more above. Uh-oh. I think my computer's running out of space because this recording is getting too long. Um uh Hopefully that doesn't cause us too much trouble. Um Here, we'll delete a few things quick. Okay. Anyways, back to the puzzle. If the recording stops, then I'll just I'll pause and continue again where I left off. Um, Man, this puzzle is a struggle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So once we got these in here, we've limited the 15. Don't know what that does for us, but it gives us. I mean, it gives us a few more cave cells, I guess. That's all it does for us. Oh. Right. Okay. If this is cave, it puts a wall there. which forces a light up here, right? Because of the 1. But the key thing is now what do you do with the 6? So it sees 3. It can only get 2 up here, so it has to go 1 to the left. But then it's only 5, and it would have to take both of these empty cells, giving it 7. So this has to be wall, which then means you have to have lights there and there. That satisfies the 1s as well. The 6 now sees 3. Can only get 1 to the right, so it's going to have to pick up one of these 2. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it can't pick up both of these empty cells because it has 3, and both of those would add 2. So this one then has to be cave, which is going to be lit by the light. So now so one of these 2 is going to be cave, and one of them is going to be wall. Do we know which one is which, though? Not sure that we do. Now the 3... Right, and now the 3 can't be wall because you can't put a light down here. You'd have to have a light on all 3 sides. So this has to be part of the cave. Now, it could connect up there like that. Or it could connect here. But either way, if it connects here, this is wall. And if it connects here, that's wall. So this one is wall either way, which limits our 15. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, 15. So it's got to go through to there. Four, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's got to have one more up that way. Do we not know more about the 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Nope, I guess we don't. Possible. If this is wall, it has to go that way. I mean, if it's cave, it has to go that way. Just gonna force... that breaks. Because the 3 would have nowhere to connect to. It can't connect down. So this has to be wall. Which we said then means you have to put a wall up here. You have to have lights on either side, which then means there has to be a wall here so these 2 lights don't see each other. You're going to have cave this way for this 3. Okay, I'm back. So my hard drive filled up. The recording got too big. And I went for a few minutes. I backed up to where I was at the end of the recording, though. So hopefully I can remember what I figured out after that. So we were filling in right here. And okay, checkerboard gives us that. Now this 3 can only get one more cell to the right, so it's got to get at least one vertically, which is going to give it all 3 of its vertical ones. Checkerboard here. Now this finishes off the 4 up here. Now to light up this cell, the only way to light that cell, because you can't put a light in it because of the 0, means you have to have a light right there, which is going to light these. And now this 1 only has one option for a light, which is right there. And this 2 has to have lights right in those 2. Now, what does that do? Okay, I think the 15 here. 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's got 7 total horizontally, including itself. 2, 4, 6, 8. And 9 vertically, including itself. 9 and 7 is 16, but you're double counting. So 15, it has to use all of its remaining cells here to get the 15, which gives us a wall up there. And that means you have to have the lights right there for the 2, which also finishes off this 2. But that lights up all of these. We can also light up those from this light. Now, this wall, oh, we've got checkerboard right here we got to avoid, and also up here. But this wall section right in here has to get to the edge of the grid somehow, right? And the only way it can do that is coming out this way. And now this 2 only has 2 options for lights here. And we have to continue getting the wall out. Checkerboard pattern there. Now the 12 is more limited because of this wall going across the top of it here. So we can do 2, 4, 6, 8 horizontally, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can only do 2, 4, 6, 9 vertically, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so yeah, that's good there. What did I do after that? Oh, so checkerboard pattern at the top here again. And now, if we put a light above the 1, it's going to see that other light. So the 1 light on the 1 has to be to the left. The 5 can't connect to the left. It'll have too many cells connected to it. And now, if it goes to the right all the way, it's going to have too many. It would have 6. So we can only pick up 1 more cell to the right at most. So it has to go down at least 1, which is then going to give it all 5 of its 5. This is checkerboard. These walls have to connect to the edge of the grid. So we get that. We can light these up. Now these 2 lights, we need them to not see each other. So we're going to fill in that wall right there. Next, what's next? Seems like it might be possible. So what did I do next? Maybe that's as far as I got. I don't even remember anymore. This puzzle is breaking my computer and my brain. If this is cave, you're gonna have to do all of that. Oh, no, the 12. Yeah, this is the last thing that I had just figured out when I realized that the recording wasn't going anymore. Okay, I knew there was something with the 12. The 12. This wall here has to connect down here. Which, so actually we can, oh, whoa, how did I do that? I switched to number mode somehow. Okay, this wall actually needs to come up because the piece up here is going to have to connect to get to the edge of the grid. But the 12 can't connect all the way to the right. It's going to have to leave space for this to get through. So we can actually only do 2, 4, 6 horizontally. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's got to go down at least to there. Now this wall section can't get out that way, so it's got to come out through here. And that gives us 2, 4, 6, yeah, 7. So that's going to finish off the 8 there. I feel like I'm so close to the end here. Okay, so one thing I can see is if this is wall, its 2 lights are going to have to be to the right and the bottom. So if it's wall, you have to have a light below it. If it's cave, you have to have cave below it. So either way, this is cave. But I don't know what that tells us. Okay. If this is wall, it's going to have lights over here. You couldn't put a light up there because it would be seen. And now... Oh, but you can use that light. I was going to say now the 3 can't be wall. Yeah, it can't. It can't. Because now how are you going to put 3 lights on the... Because it's going to have to do that. This one would be seen. So you can't put 3 lights on the 3. So if the 2 is wall, it forces this to be cave. But now you've got 4 cells for the cave. So that is cave right there. Which gives us walls all the way around like this. And then So the 12 is limited more now. So 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. You only get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's got to go down one more, which then forces this wall to continue down to get to the edge of the grid. And now the 4 is forced this way. That gives us a wall there. So we know these are lights. They're going to light up all of those. That forces a light where the 2 is there. And now what? Now what? The 3... No, the 3 could still be... The 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's got to go that way. That's as far as it can go that way. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we got 12. These are all walls. That's got to continue to let this get through. And now the 4 can only get 1 to the left, so it's got to have at least 1 up, which gives it all of its 4. We do that. And just got to finish it off now. The 3, right, the 3 can't be wall because it would have to have lights in both of these spots, which would create the checkerboard. So that has to be cave. Wall has to continue out because it's got to connect to the edge somehow. Now one of these is cave and one is wall. That's wall and that's cave. It looks... right. Right, this one can't be a cave because it would give you 4. So it has to be like this. Checkerboard pattern. And now you could do that, right? Or you could do that, and these would all be lights. I think those are both possibilities. We can light up some more cells there. Can this one be cave? I think it can. Can it be... No, it can't be wall because there's no place to put 2 lights. So this has to be cave, actually. And since it already sees 1 cell, cave cell, it's got to continue like that. And now... Oh, we have to have that because of the 2. Now just the last little bit. So one of those is cave and one is... Oh, of course. This wall piece right here, it has to connect to the edge of the grid, so it has to come down there, which is going to give us that. These are lit. Now we have 3, so that has to be wall. The light for the 1 has to go there, which is going to light this. Now the light for this one has to go there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. This has to be cave. Yeah, so this has to be cave. And now this one can't be cave because it would have 4. It's got to be wall, which is going to have 3 lights around it. Light those all up. Now we have to have a light there. This one is already lit. This one here needs a light somewhere. Okay, we need a light. This 4 cell has to be lit. It can't be up here in the yellow, and it can't be on either of the zeros. So this actually has to be a light. Just going to go there, and now this one needs to be a light. And what's left right here? What's this one? Now I feel like that cell could be a wall. Or a light, couldn't it? Did I do something wrong? Oh no. Because that could be a light, couldn't it? No, it can't be a light. Can't be a light. There's a light seeing it. There's already 1 light. This has to be wall. Because it can't be cave. If it's cave, it's unlit. And we can't put a light there. So that has to be wall. Oh, okay. And there's not answer check set up on this, but I'm fairly confident that's going to be the solution. It took me, I mean, it's the timer, we've gone over the hour again. Hour and 51 minutes. There was a little bit of repeat when the recording stopped and I had to do loops, so we'll call it 145. Um, wow. 5 stars for sure. I got through it. It was not pretty. The puzzle was pretty. My solve was not pretty. I got through it. That was a puzzle. That was something. Mark Sweep, Cave Akari by Mark Sweep. Mark, that was pretty cool. You broke my computer and my brain. So there you go. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do that video. Maybe I'll fast forward through parts that are boring and splice it down. I don't think you guys will want to watch the whole hour and 45 minutes of that. But anyways, there you go. That was Cave Akari by Mark Sweep. Oh, and for completeness sake, I better show that cell is lit up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that puzzle. Let me know what you thought. Were you able to finish it? Did you even attempt it? Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys again soon with another puzzle. Thanks.